evening. Welcome. It's been so long since I have hosted something on WFC that I genuinely just had a complete brain fart there and I didn't know what I needed to push. It's a very different intro to what I do over on WoFo. So I just had a brief moment there. So apologies if you were just left on the thumbnail for quite some time. Anyway, hello, welcome. Lovely to have you along. No, I'm not Connor. I haven't shaved off all of my hair and decided to go radically bald. It's me. I'm usually over that side. But today I'm in the driving seat because Connor quite simply can't be bothered. So here I am. But what we have got is two fantastic people to help us go through everything that happened on Friday night. We've got the magnificent, the wonderful Charlie. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you, Barry. Absolutely buzzing. What an exciting week of football we've got for Mark's Tricky Reds.
I concur. Absolutely has been. And of course, sitting in my little position over there, somebody who's a friend of the show. He does some superb graphics, by the way. And so let's just take a moment because he's not been live with us. Just give him a little round of applause for the effort that he does there, not just on the women's channel, but also over for the men's side. It's been a while. I couldn't tell you when the last time was that we had Andrew all in on here. But here you are. How you doing, Andrew? Everything all right?
Yeah, I'm all good. So as I said to you backstage, I said it's been a while. Even I couldn't remember. I was like, but yeah, looking forward to, as Charlie said, the week ahead of the fixtures we've got. So it's going to be exciting times.
Absolutely that. So there we go. Listen, guys, I don't know if you noticed, but on Friday evening, we became the first side to take some points off of Chelsea. And although we didn't beat them, we possibly could have done. So I'm just going to go straight in there with this question. How do you all feel? How do you all feel? Because I felt some very mixed feelings on Friday evening. I felt pride, really proud, because that's probably the best we've ever played against Chelsea. And I felt like we attacked and we didn't sit back and we were brave. I felt that. But also felt a little bit frustrated because I thought, actually, we really could have beaten you here and they've just sort of lucked out. So I don't know. What say you, Chazza?
Yeah, I thought it was a strong performance. I think we didn't make it easy for them at all. I think it could have gone either way, really. I think there were opportunities for either side to nick it. For me, it'll be the Melvin Mallard chance is the big one, I think, where she sort of managed to scoop it so it sort of curved outwards away from the goal. But the performance against Chelsea as a whole sort of felt like a million miles away from more recent performances against them. I think probably the best we've played since that 4-2. We lost 4-2, do you remember? But we were sort of in and amongst it at half time. And I know last year it was fairly close at their place, 1-0, but it was a pretty one-sided game. I thought we were good. I feel like we kind of know what our strengths are against these sorts of sides now. I still think there's a bit of, and again, Chelsea fans will say the same, and they have been online, the ones I've been interacting with that have been good to chat to, is both teams had opportunities where they could have been a bit more clinical. But again, having not picked up points against them really in the last 11 games, I think maybe 1 point we've got from them in the last 11 games or something in the league, something like that. It's a big victory for us. And I think mentally it was good. You could see how frustrating it was for the Chelsea players, for the manager in particular. They found it difficult. So yeah, on the whole, happy with it. But yeah, I feel like looking at this game and the Arsenal game, I think we could have nicked the 3 points in one of them potentially, which would have been massive. But I think to be where we are in the league, to have the points we've got, having played those two sides already, is really positive for us. It's a long-winded answer, sorry, but yeah.
You can have all the long-winded answers that you want, especially early going in the show. If you see my eyes just doing this, the FA Cup wins first round draw is on, and my team are in there. Not Manchester United, obviously, the one I work for. So my eyes are just trying to do that. 2 jobs all at the same time. Don't hate me. I wasn't supposed to be in this seat. All right. So there we go. Andrew, whilst we're here, let's move it over to, I know you're also trying to do the same, but talk to us about the game. You was there too. Do you sort of echo what Charlie says there?
Yeah, I do. I say it's like good to take a point off Chelsea, but I felt like we could have, nicked it and, and took our first ever WSL victory against Chelsea, even before the game, reading the stats, and we say we've out of 11 games, we only had one draw against them. It's, our only victory against them was in the FA Cup semi-final. So the stats for the league fixtures was like, wasn't great reading before the game, but I say we fully merited the point that we got, though we probably could have nicked all three out of them. And I just think with Chelsea at the start of the season, they've never hit the ground running, so it's the best time to catch them. And I just felt like we could have just done it, and just think we kind of set our stall out early as well. To I think Skinner said before the game, we've got to look to attack and be brave, and which we did. So moving the ball around and trying to go at them as well. Even like when we conceded, we came back, we had a reaction. We didn't wilt. So, but yeah, looking second half, I'd say it became more and more open. Chelsea were trying to come at us, and and we were trying to force it back on them as well. So in the end, it was say I'll take the point. You said before the game I'll take the point, but I just thought, we could have just got a very first victory over them and set a marker down on the league as well, because that league table, you look at the top five now, it's very close together. So I think Skinner said we're not going to allow Chelsea to run away with it this season, and hopefully we don't.
It felt like I felt like we had a sensible game plan. I think you can make two major mistakes against Chelsea. One is that you try and sit in and just absorb pressure all game, and you can probably manage that for an hour. But then someone's mentioned what Chelsea have on the bench is you can't withstand it for 90 minutes. And then the other mistake is you just try and play attacking football all the time. So you try and play through them, which is also difficult. I just think we used a sensible game plan. I thought we defended resolutely when we needed to, but we also didn't take risks. So we got rid of the ball. And I think Turland and Mallard, when she came on, did really good jobs of holding the ball up and protecting it from the centre-backs. But then I feel like when we picked our moments to attack, I thought we were good. I thought we were quick on the ball. There was the odd time when I think players slowed it down, maybe when they didn't need to, and there was that little bit of conservatism there. And again, I think for us, Chelsea had a couple of really good chances. Maya Letizia was just an absolute monster, she was colossal. And Fallon Tullis-Joyce made a couple of really good saves, as she does. Just steps up when you needed to, when she doesn't have to do that much normally. But I think we had a few chances where if we just made I don't think we always quite made the right decision in that kind of final third. Oh, there we go, in and around the box. I think that's that's the next step for us, isn't it? Against these teams, being clinical and when you get those one or two chances, taking them more consistently.
I was going to say, just to add on that, I think our midfield was key as well, of Ziggy and Hanata as well. Just in the past, sometimes our midfield's got overrun, whereas Ziggy and Hanata, they were just working in tandem with each other, trying to build the attack, but also in the defending as well. So going together, trying to get the ball back as well. So I think that was the key as well. So we could stifle Chelsea that way in the midfield. So Chelsea couldn't overrun us in the midfield as much, which helped us as well.
I think you both chat in absolute sense, as I would expect the pair of you to. That's why we bring you on the channel, of course. It's not just because you are wonderful human beings. So I suppose now would also be a good time to mention that the player of the match poll has gone up on to your screens. And I mean, goodness me, already I'm getting pelters. Let's throw a few things out here. So, surprised to see the player of the match poll is live before the show is on, but nice to get the vote in early. Well, there you go. It's there. You've got the ability to get involved, so please do get onto the player of the match. And obviously, it's your choice. People like Philip will be rightly disappointed that there's no place for Jets.
Who is on it?
Well, if you give me a second, I will remind myself what I sent to Condog. I believe it's Fallon Tullis-Joyce, Hinny, Anna, and Julia. So those are my four players. But interestingly enough, we got that. No place for Jess. Didn't she get the B? Exactly. She's got that. She doesn't need another one. How many player of the match trophies do you need? Somebody else has just popped on with oh, why isn't MLT in there? And like, this is the point. There's lots of players, I think, this weekend who we could have chosen. So there we go. Very, very, very interesting stuff there. But go for it. And if you don't agree, that's fine. You're absolutely allowed to whack it in there. Send an email or a message to Connor. In fact, go to Connor, tweet him, go, why wasn't Jess Park on there? And if more of you vote for Jess Park than vote for the people we've had there, then technically he's going to have to take that, isn't he? Have a rebellion. There's power for the people. Power for the people. Text him. He'll love it. Get in there. Straight in there. Okay. Talk to me a little bit then, Charlie, about the starting lineup. I know that's how Connor likes to start these things. Defence, pretty much picking itself as you'd expected. Pretty much the same midfield. Rolfer starting on the left. Jess Park obviously on the right. Turland up top. I mean, pretty much what we'd have expected, yes?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there could have been a couple of slight changes there, but it wouldn't have necessarily weakened the squad. It probably, in my opinion, probably the strongest possible lineup we could have gone for. Obviously, really pleased to see Jade there. Always a little bit worried about her when she had a bit of an injury. So great to see her back. I think she makes such a big difference. I have to be honest with you. When the starting lineup comes out now, the first thing I check for is the two in the middle. So if it's Julia, the greatest signing we've ever made, facts. I don't care if that becomes a meme. And Miyazawa, I'd back us to do really, really well, or at least not to be played through. I think that's the most important pairing for me. And I love the fact that we've got that consistent back line. I think where we've been most successful, had our most successful seasons, is when we've had that consistency there across the back line with the goalkeeper, and we've got that again this season. Hopefully we can continue that, and the players can stay fit across the course of a season. That's obviously really key for us. I'm just so excited. The more we see of Rolfo, the better I think she's getting. I thought she was really good against Chelsea. I still think she's got another gear or two to go through, if I'm being quite honest, as she starts to get on the wavelength with Anna in particular and with Turland up front. But there's just so much, for me, there's so much excitement around that 11. I think we've got maybe 15, 16 players that are really good standard, like really good standard. Some of them arguably world class or on the fringes of being so, and potentially will be. And obviously it's nice looking at the bench, isn't it, and seeing that Awujo's there, seeing that Hannah Blundell's there. It just gives us that little bit more firepower if we need to change the game. So yeah, really, really happy with it. I'd really like Turland to get another league goal. I feel like it's coming. She's got like 30 in the Champions League already, hasn't she, having played 2 games? But I think that will come. But yeah, great starting 11. Some nice options off the bench, which we've been missing. So it was all positive for me.
Indeed, the people that are watching this have absolutely no idea. But yes, Charlie, Stevenage could get Stourbridge or Kidderminster. I'm absolutely just wetting myself with excitement. Whilst that happens, Andrew, for you, starting lineup, were you happy with that? Were there any changes you'd have made?
I was, as I was expecting, say Anna recovered from her illness, so it's whether she would make it. But say that pushed Rolfo further forward, and as I say, it was just a question whether with Mel being Mallard, where she starts or not now. It's just like, where do you try and fit her in, and what position do you let her go through the middle or on the wing? So just, I think it's probably the right starting 11. I think Rolfo has come in. I'm just thinking, what I like about her is when she gets the ball, she just drives it forward. She's looking to attack. She's not. Sometimes when we've been playing the ball around and going side to side, she just gets it and wants to move it forward, which that's what we want to do. We want to get on the attack as well. So yeah, it's just, say, it gives us, with the options on the bench, Melvin coming off where she comes on and plays on the wing, or like I say, Turland comes off and Melvin goes through the middle. To say we've got more options coming on the bench now. Those injured players are coming back, so we're going to need them throughout the course of the season as well, especially now we've got Champions League. So, but yeah, in terms of the lineup, it's probably one of our strongest, and to take on Chelsea. So yeah, I was pleased with what Skinner put out there.
I think I tend to agree. I don't think I could have looked at that team and really thought to myself, "Ooh, I definitely would have picked somebody else and put them on there. So I think, yeah, a very, very good decision, all told. There's been a few things that have been mentioned, and I didn't actually save that one, so I won't worry too much about that. I will move on to my next question, which is a very, very simple one. It's all about the first goal. I've got to be honest, Chelsea scored. I was annoyed. I mean, I personally thought it was a rubbish goal. And by that, what I mean is that you should never have somebody who's able to run into the box unimpeded to be able to run on a simple back heel like that. I don't know. What were your thoughts? Charlie, we'll start with you on this one. Like I say, a horrific first goal. Absolutely hated it. And it annoyed me.
Yeah, I think it felt like the first 10 minutes were a little bit uncomfortable. Obviously, we had that chance, didn't we, with Jess Park, where she received the ball quite high at the pitch on the right, and then clearly was caught between whether she should cross or shoot, and did neither really. And then it was not long after that Chelsea scored. But it felt like I said, that first 10 minutes, they were just testing out Anna Sandberg a bit, was the impression that I got. It felt like they were trying to attack quickly down their right-hand side, our left-hand side, and put her under a little bit of pressure. Because obviously Anna's had a really good start to the season, but of the back line, she's the new one. She's the one new, isn't she, to the starting lineup? So I think they were testing her. I just think we were a little bit soft in the challenges as well, putting pressure on. One is Macario, and then who was the player that went down the wing? Was it Kennerid? I think it was just a little bit poor. I think what we can take from it though is the reaction after that was massive. Because it could have knocked the stuffing out of them. But yeah, it was a rubbish goal. Like I said, not tracking the runner. Sort of no one taking responsibility for that. But I think outside of that, that was the difficult bit. But hopefully something that we'll learn from and improve on, because after that we're pretty solid.
Don't quite know what to say about this because I've watched it on the internet. It hasn't quite come up on mine yet. So let's go. Oh, look, Stevenage have been drawn at home. I wonder who we're going to get. Who can it possibly be? We've got Norwich. Crikey. Tier 4 opposition. That'll be a tough one, but who knows? I want to, because you're a criminal, we're going to talk to you about a couple of your tweets in a minute, or your messages, but like, if you want me to take you seriously, don't tell lies. I don't know about world class. I mean, from an attacking point of view, would you be happy with that passage of play? Of course you would. You know, you've passed around us, you've got us in space. From your point of view, it's a good goal. But don't pretend that if that was the other way around and we'd scored that goal, that you wouldn't be sitting there having a go at your defenders, because they didn't quite do what they could have done and actually defended the ball. So, Andrew, we'll throw it over to you as well. Like, we just weren't tracking the runner. That's criminal. You can't do that. And to our credit, defensively, we've been incredible so far this season. It is just a lapse, you would imagine. They're not going to be perfect all the way through, but frustrating nonetheless, because it was against Chelsea, and automatically you immediately start thinking, here we go again.
Yeah, it's to say, if you just switch off for a moment, any game, it can cause consequences, and it did for us. Something like Chelsea's goal came against the early run of play. I mean, within the first how many minutes, we were the ones pushing it, and then just like, you know, Chelsea just found their moments, and Macario, you know, clever back heel. And I think watching the highlights, but I think it was Toon that was tracking Captain, and as the back heel was played, Toon just stopped for a slight second, and I don't know, it was just attracted to the ball, and then Captain, you know, just, you know, score past us. So yeah, we just got to be. You've got to be switched on every second of the game, because, you know, we could easily let more goals in. But defensively, you know, in other games we've been rock solid. But it's just, you say, we just can't, you know, in other big games we can't be doing that as well. We can't be giving the opposition an early lead. To be fair to us, we did respond back. So I was thinking when they did score, I thought, are we going to wilt here under the pressure? But no, we fought back, and, you know, Chelsea we weren't going to make it easy for them, so, which I'm glad about. So, but let's say we weathered pressure from them, but we coped and we hit back against them. So, but yeah, defensive lapse we can put it down to, but just say we just can't, you know, have any more of those in further games.
I got very, very confused there because there was 2 Redditches, and I'm sure they've just been drawn already. So I had a brief.
Yeah, there is
oh my
two.
God, they're gonna have to redraw the whole thing. It's all gone wrong. They've missed a side out. They haven't. It's all good.
Yeah, there's one United and one Borough.
So there we go. Right, I can switch that off now, so I don't really care about any more of the rest of what's going on there. There we are. Right, I'm all yours now, which may be good or bad, considering on your point of view. But there we go. So listen, I think you're right. And Charlie mentioned immediately the response was, I think, fantastic. And Chelsea had the better, I think, of the sort of 5 or 10, 15 minutes in terms of getting the shots away and getting settled into the game. But we settled then, I think, incredibly well. And the finish from Anna Sandberg was just sublime. I mean, she could not have hit that any better. And to be fair, it was going to take something really special, wasn't it, Andrew, to get past someone like Hannah Hampton, who has certainly done incredibly well as of late. What did you make, Andrew, of Anna Sandberg's goal?
I was like, could be one of the best goals of the season. The way that score past Chelsea, we've had difficulty in the past, scoring past them, and say it's team's not knocked down. It's almost like we all, as soon as it went towards them, we were just like saying shoot in the crowd. We just thought this is our opportunity, and it just fell so nicely for her. And it was just, I think it's our 4th goal from outside the box in 5 league games this season as well. So we can score inside the box, but we are scoring a few outside the box. So and it was nice for Anna to get a first goal as well. And I think she put her hands up into, if I remember, celebrating, putting her hands up into the sky, because obviously her mum recently passed. So it was nice for her to get that first goal. But yeah, I couldn't have been a more sweeter strike past Hannah Hampton, as they got us back a level as well. So, and the momentum was, once we conceded, the momentum built back up in our favour, and it just felt like it was just like we needed that reaction, because I thought the longer we didn't equalise, then Chelsea could put more pressure on us and then score. So it's good we got that equaliser pretty much within that first half as well, so we didn't drag on much longer that they was leading against us.
No, I think I tend to agree.
Yeah, I felt like once we were
you go for it. I'm only going to ask you to say the same thing, so might as well.
All right. I was going to say, when it went in, I was, after the absolute raucous celebrations died down, I did think Connor would be absolutely buzzing, because something that really annoyed him last season was how infrequently our players would take the strike on from outside the box. And like Andrew said, we've done that a few times this season to great success. I love that we've got 2 marauding goal-scoring fullbacks now. That's what I'm going to call them, even if neither of them score again. But yeah, it was great for me. I kind of felt like when she took the free kick against London City Lionesses, didn't she, which forced a decent save from their keeper. So she's clearly got it in her locker. But yeah, it was a great taken shot, because I don't think she had loads of time to think about. Obviously, it was a scuffed rubbish clearance from Kira Walsh, I think, and then just a reactionary thing from Toon to keep it close to the box. But the way she got the strike away was brilliant. It reminded me a bit, and I don't like to say his name often. Do you remember when Anthony scored against Barcelona? I know it's from a different position on the pitch, but she didn't put a foot through it. There was clearly placement there. She wasn't just lashing at it. She placed it in that corner, because that's where it'd be most difficult for Hannah Hampton to get to. So technically it was very good as well. It wasn't just to hit it and hope it goes through, because of how much power she's put behind it. So it was brilliant. Just want to see more of that from her now. So she manages to get herself in and around the box, take the shot on. And I think we did that a fair bit more this game, because we had a couple of other chances in the game where it didn't quite come off for us, but we got ourselves in good positions in and around the box. But yeah, just really chuffed for her. Again, Barry, you talked about in previous seasons, again, if you want to be successful, you need a range of goal scorers. And we're starting to rack up sort of the numbers with regards to who scored for us. But yeah, great goal. Technically very good. I don't think you can overlook that either. I'm really pleased for her. And like I said, it came at the right time. I think we deserved it. I think we deserved to go in even at half time.
I think you're right. I think had we gone in anything other than level at half time, it would have been, I think, slightly wrong. But when we think back, Chazza, over these games that we've had against Chelsea, we've had ones where we've been absolutely smashed. We've had ones where we fought quite hard up until half time. We've had ones where we've been ahead at half time and Chelsea have come back. But I mean, this is, something that Ellie said here. We drew to the Champions League champions. Now we've drawn with the league champions. It could be a special season. How much do you subscribe to that? Because, the teams, we've let City jump ahead of us. Spurs have obviously jumped ahead of us. But, City have only played Chelsea once so far. Yes, they beat Arsenal as well. So you could argue they're doing a point better than us in that respect. But for us to be in the position we're in, we haven't lost. We're still unbeaten. We're the first team to actually take points off of the champions. It's been, I think, the best performance we've had against Chelsea. And I include with that the one that we won 2-1, because I think we played the game with less fear than we've perhaps played other games for the whole of the game. I don't think we could look at the game and go, there's a point there where we really dropped off. We were scared that we might concede. We just went for it all the way through.
Yeah. I think the thing for me against both Arsenal and more so Chelsea, because I think we created more against them, is the nature of the performance is more what we've been looking for. So against Arsenal, we had less possession, but we were in control. We weren't out of control in that game, and sometimes it can be a bit fraught and hectic and frantic, can't it, when we play those teams? And with Chelsea, I think we had more of the ball, which I found astonishing, just because we never do. Very few teams do, I think, when they play them. And like I said, it's the nature of it. So, and it's been coming like we've played well for the majority of the season. We're a bit limp, weren't we, in the second half against Liverpool, but generally we've played really well. And I do think, again, people talk about the transfer window not being what it should have been, and I completely agree when you look at numbers, when you look at bodies, okay? But I'd much rather have the 3 players that we've got in, because I think they've changed how we play, than got 6 players that weren't as good as them, but have greater numbers. I think the 3 players we've got in have gone straight into the lineup and they make us better, and they bring confidence, and they breed confidence, don't they, amongst the other players. I think also a big part of how we play, that's like last year, there was a lot of Turlin chasing the ball on her own, and getting loads of aggro from the fans for not being able to chase down every ball solo. But she just looks fitter and stronger. I think as a team, we press so well. And again, that's down to those 3 signings that we've made, who can press really well, but also the 3 of them are press resistant. So we can't forget that. It's both sides. It's both those things that they bring. And like I said, it's the nature of the performance. Now, for someone who, if we ever one day win the league, I'll be like a big baby. But what I will always caveat this with is we played well against Arsenal and Chelsea. If we lose to Everton at the weekend, it's meaningless. So we have to be beating those sides, because we could go through the season and not lose to Arsenal, City and Chelsea. But if we're not beating the other teams, it doesn't matter. So it's like we need to play Wednesday. We need to win that game on Wednesday. That's massive. And then we need to, it is Everton, isn't it? I've not just made that up. It's Everton we play next weekend. Is that right?
Yes.
We have to beat them. If we don't beat them, for me, it becomes irrelevant. And it's
Again,
a good, we need to be, the pressure's good, right? If we want to be in a position where we have to win every game, because we should be in amongst it. And again, if we play with the mentality and the attitude and the work rate and the effort and the desire that we played against Chelsea, we should be making it very, very difficult for literally any side we come up against. If we can perform like that against Chelsea, the best team in this country and have been for years and years and years and years, we should be able to make it 10 times more difficult for everyone else that we come up against, is what I would say.
Yeah,
but I just love it. So. Yeah.
Totally agree. Andrew, in terms of how this game ranked up against other games that we played against Chelsea, what do you reckon? Because I was genuinely so impressed with how, as a team, we actually tried to fight them. We actually tried to play them. We didn't just sit back, hope we could catch on the counter. We actually tried to take the game to them. And it should have paid off.
Yeah, as I said, we probably could have nicked it and got all 3 points out of them. It's probably the probably most all-round performance against Chelsea. I mean, obviously, when we beat them in the FA Cup semi-final, that was like we had a lightning start, and then it was almost like backs against the wall, especially that second half. So it was like we was trying to keep them out from, equalising. But performance on Friday, it was just like every player was like wanting to put the challenge in, and just like fighting for that ball as well. So it was just like, as I said before, reading the stats about the previous 11 games, we've only had one draw against them, and it's just like Chelsea won every other one. It was just like, I thought maybe this could be the night where we do, grab all 3 points. Obviously, we didn't, but it was encouraging by the performance as well. I think, was it last season we only took 1 point out of Arsenal and Chelsea? So, okay, we've doubled that so far this season, but it just gives us, hope, when we go away to those grounds as well. Well, with those performances, we'll take that to when we go and visit them away, and hopefully we'll nick all 3 points against them. So, but as Charlie said, going to Everton next week, if we don't win that, we're almost doing a little bit of the hard work and the good start we've made to the season. As I say, we're still unbeaten. So it's just, if we want to be, up there near the top and, pushing the likes of Chelsea, Arsenal all the way, well, these are the games you've got to win, not draw and lose. You've got to take all 3 points again against them. So, yeah, so probably the best all-round performance we've had against Chelsea. So gives us all hope that we can one day get those magic 3 points against them. They've been like our nemesis.
You say that, though, it's only the second point we've taken off of Chelsea in the entirety of our time in the WSL.
Yeah.
So we're 100% better off than we were this time a week ago, which is, you can only get 100%. You can't do any better than that. So there we go. Obviously, we will try our hardest to get that win. But I think it's really interesting to see how we approach that game. But I think it's fair to say that the Melvin Mallard effort, Charlie, as you alluded to earlier, that was the one. Like 68 minutes gone, she's there, brilliant ball through. She's one-on-one with a goalie. She's hit it first time. She hasn't mucked about with it like we've seen her do on a couple of occasions. And it just goes wide. I mean, listen, it could happen to anyone. It's not a negative. It was a good shot. It went wide. But that was probably our best opportunity that we fashioned. Certainly the most clear-cut. Despite really knocking the door down. I mean, it was wave after wave after wave of red attack. But only 3 shots on target in the entirety of the game out of about 15, I think, that we had all in all. Does it come down to this again? Well, I mean, it does. I'm not even going to ask that as a question because it's a bloody stupid one. You've got to get more shots on target if you want to get more goals. And the fact that we're not necessarily getting them inside those white posts and bar is a bit of a nightmare. What can we do to improve that, do you think? Because Anna Sandberg was the one to do it. But against Chelsea, we just didn't manage it. We didn't really test Hannah Hampton enough.
And it's one of those ones, isn't it? Where, and I'm dreadful for this. So I'm a rubbish person watching football when you're looking at shooting, because in the one breath I'll say, oh, you got to just get it on target. You got to just test the keeper, and then when they do that and it's in and around the keeper, it's like, oh, why have they gone down the middle? Why didn't you just go for the corner or top bins? I think it's important we're getting chances. I think there were 2 or 3 that were off target that were very close. Hannah Hampton seems to be a bit susceptible to shots dipping just under the bar, just from how she seems to respond when those sorts of shots are taken. I think Jess Park got one, took one away good. I'm glad every time I unmute, the dogs get excited. And obviously there was that weird one from Rolfo, wasn't it, where she shot and it deflected and it just bounced on top of the bar. So yeah, I think I said at the start, I talked about just those moments. Like there's times again in this game, and we saw it against against Arsenal. It was literally against Arsenal, where sort of the wingers or the wide forwards would cut in, or Toon or Jess Park would be in around the edge of the box, and they'd get themselves a yard of space. and almost like second guess themselves. You look at it and think, get the shot on, because we're right behind the goal, like literally, because we're in the terrace, and you feel like they could get shots away a little bit earlier. But I don't know, like Chelsea fans will be saying the same thing, won't they? But yeah, we need to. There's no shying away from the fact that we had chances to win both those games, and we didn't take them. Like the Mallard one, it was hard to see from where we were. Obviously, you couldn't tell that because of the perspective. You couldn't necessarily tell that there was no defenders beyond her. But I just got a text from my husband. He was like, "That was harder to miss. I don't know how that's happened." She sort of spoons it around the far post, which she did against Liverpool as well. But it didn't matter because we won 2-0, so you don't talk about it. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, we want to win it, don't we? So we need to be more clinical. That's why I'm saying we need Turland to get on the score sheet again soon in the league. I think, especially if he's going to get those 30 goals that I talked about at the start of the season across all competitions, though I will say. But yeah, I think like there's other players knocking on the door. Like Zjotti's had a couple of brilliant opportunities, like shots, and like you said, just not quite getting them on target, like just going past the upright. And you think another half a foot, and it's nestled in the top corner. But yeah, it's frustrating, isn't it? You look back and you think, oh, there's this chance, and this chance.
But it's a tough one, Andrew, because, well, like I said, we had 15 shots in total, 3 on target. Chelsea had 19 shots and 6 on target. So it's one of those. I mean, we'll throw it up there now. I said we would return some of these. 2.93 expected goals for Chelsea, by the way. Can I tell you what you can do with your expected goals? That's a bit like me talking about my expected wage, or when people come out and go, oh, the average wage in Britain. It ain't the average wage at all. It's an absolute joke. So I'm not having that. But all that tells me is that you should have scored more and you didn't. So how crap are you? Is what I would say on that one. But Andrew, it doesn't take a genius or indeed a mathematical genius to work out that 1 in 3 shots were on target for Chelsea, where it was 1 in 5 for us. And that's not good enough. It's just not. We've got an Elizabeth Turland, Her Majesty, who is netting goals for fun when we play European football, which should be harder than what we're doing in the WSL. Now, I know we're only just getting into the hard rounds. We've been playing teams that are more like Durham. I get it. But still, it should, if you're a confident goal scorer, you would hope that would translate into the WSL, wouldn't you?
You'd think so, yeah. So, as Charlie said earlier, Turner looks fitter and stronger. So, and obviously when she's pressing there, those players behind her are doing it as well. I think like last season, she was doing it, but almost like on her own at most of the time. I was like, if you're going to press, we're hearing the crowd, oh, press. And I'm like, yeah, you can't just do it on your own. You've got to have teammates behind you doing it, because otherwise sometimes it can prove a bit fruitless. And you're like, well, I'm doing all this, but I'm like, well, I can't do everything on my own. Just needed to, just get, like I say, a goal against Everton next weekend, and just could start a good run of scoring form for her as well, I'd say. But in Chelsea, I think second half we were asking questions of them as well. We're saying we're having a few speculative efforts as well. Saying there was the Rafa one that hit the bar, and then I think Park may have had something as well. But Mallard was probably the best chance we had to put it away. And if she had a score, well, we'd have all been jumping for joy in the stands as well. So, but I think, but I say Chelsea were equally coming back at us as well, asking questions of us as well, saying as the rain continued to come down on LSV, it was like it's making that pitch more slicker and the ball more quicker for everybody. So it was like, yeah, so we had to be wary that even though we were attacking, Chelsea could easily just turn on us and just easily have just put the ball in the back of the net. So it was striking a balance between knowing when to attack and also being resolute in the defending as well, which we had to do as well. So, but yeah, I just think these chances, hopefully we do. I'd be more concerned if we weren't getting the chances to score. Let's say we are creating these chances. Now it's just converting them, because at some point it could be one game we have loads of chances and not score at all, and we could end up drawing or losing a game. It's like, that's where the frustration builds. So they said after the game, was like, could have won it, but say would have took the point beforehand, but frustration.
To be honest, Anthony, that's kind of my point. It's not that she's having chances and she's not scoring them. It's like she gets quite a few in Europe. She's had a hat-trick already. So we know she's perfectly capable of getting them. It's almost like we're having to change the game a bit too much. But this is my last question, really, on the match itself. Fallon Tullis-Joyce, or as I'm calling her, thanks to her 5 saves, according to Sky Sports, Fallon 5 saves. So Fallon 5 saves did incredibly well. And that's part of the reason why I put her in the player of the match poll. Talk to me a little bit about Fallon Tullis-Joyce, because arguably this is the first time this season we've needed Fallon to step up. And it was sort of back to the wall stuff, back to the Andrew stuff at the end of the game. Talk to me a little bit about that, because yes, Aggie Beever-Jones does stick one straight down her throat, which is much easier for her to get. But there was some good saves there, and actually shows that she's still focused just from the minute the game is on. Doesn't matter how busy she's been absolutely superb again all season, and I think she deserved her flowers this week. What say you?
Sorry, I'll just
She's ignoring me. She's not playing the game. I don't know if maybe she can't hear me. Oh, there she is.
Yeah, I didn't know it was you.
Said Andrew.
That's what I thought.
I thought you specifically.
Back to the Andrew. Back to the Andrew. Whoa.
Yeah. My favourite thing that she did was the one when the ball was played through to Sam Kerr, and Sam Kerr had beaten the centre backs for pace. And Fallon Tullis-Joyce was dead brave, I think, running out of her goal and getting a foot to it and kicking it away. I thought that was really important. Like, having a goalkeeper that comes off their line like that, I think, is key. There was also a low down one that she did. Like, she is like 90 feet tall. Like, there was one low down to the right hand side that she manages to tip around the post, which was colossal as well. I just love her. I think she's so good, isn't she?
Concise, easy, not much more you can add to that. Andrew, would you like to try?
Easy. Like, all the time.
Yeah, so I don't think I can really add much to that. But just say when Charlie mentioned Sam Kerr when she came on, I was like, it's a bit of fear came on me because she's been like the one that's always scoring against us, and I thought, please do not get a chance to score. And so Fallon was just like, even at the end when she made that save as well, and the defense held firm and cleared the ball. It was just like this. It could have landed at a Chelsea player's feet, and they would have had another opportunity to score. But literally, Fallon and the defense were just resolute in everything they were doing. So, but yeah, Fallon just say an amazing keeper, and she just wins us, can win us a lot of points over the season with her saves.
Just intrigued by what Chelman was saying here. Glad to see Fallon playing out from the back. But you really can't compare her to Hannah's footwork and distribution on another level. She looks so comfortable with the ball at her feet. Interesting.
I wasn't comparing her.
No.
I wasn't comparing her to Hampton.
If I was to compare Fallon Tullis-Joyce to Hannah Hampton, Fallon Tullis-Joyce would have been on every metric, including the person I like the most. So there we go.
How much does Hannah Hampton know about sea life? That's what I want to know. How much does Hannah Hampton know about octopuses and the local aquarium? Probably not very much.
I just love the fact that we've got a goalkeeper who took diving to the next level. Doesn't just dive for the ball. She just dives literally all the time. Hannah Hampton, a very close second to Fallon Tullis-Joyce, I feel, for me. Let's see what we managed to do there. Jonathan, yes, you're doing our work for us there. Well done. If you haven't liked yet, what are you waiting for? Push that button whilst you can. The player of the match has completed, so I will be coming back to that in just a moment. It would be foolish of me, though, not to talk to you a little bit. I think you can still vote. If you can't, this is largely pointless and you should probably move on. But all for United, obviously, Only if you're watching on the replay. Don't do it now. That would be madness. 86 down to 3. Oh, all went wrong. But of course, thanks to you wonderful people, All for United WFC has been voted on the FCAs, the Football Content Awards. Again, we did get a bronze medal a couple of years ago. We were terribly missed off last year. An outrage, absolutely unbelievable. But we're hoping that we'll find ourselves back in there again. You can vote for us in numerous ways. You can vote for us just here where it says organisation, not sure. I'm not sure about the organisation, about a lot of things, but you do want to go onto the website for the FCAs, and if it'd probably be helpful, wouldn't it, if I got rid of that comment that is covering up the bottom bit there. There you go. So if you go into the best in women's football, find us under creators, All for United WFC, and vote. Or if you're into the picture place, you can pop off to Instagram, where you can find the Football Content Awards in the address at the top there. And again, find this post and just pop our names there as well. Sorry to block you up twice there, Charlie, but it's just your positioning, mate. I can't help that one. So there we go. We are going to talk briefly about the player of the match, and then we're just going to nip on to a couple of other little moments that I'd like to throw out. But we'll start off with the player of the match. Charlie, who would you have picked, and did you have an issue with the 4 people that I chose?
No, literally no issue, because the person who should win it is Giulia Zizotti yet again. I feel like she's not going to win it ever, and actually she should be winning it every week. I think she's unreal. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep banging this drum. But when we made those 3 signings, I said that, or maybe we hadn't made Jess Park signing by then, but I said that Giulia Zizotti is going to be the most important player that we've signed in a couple of years, because she's revolutionised that midfield. Absolutely phenomenal player. Technically brilliant. Her and Miyazawa together can play us out of any sort of trouble. Ridiculous. Like how often against like these bigger sides we've talked about midfield maybe being overrun, being a bit slow, being a bit lackluster. It's like I describe United women. I said I feel like when watching them, they feel like a completely different animal this year, and I think a large part of that is down to her and how balanced the midfield is. She's just phenomenal. 1 second she's up on the edge of the box winning the ball back about only 15-20 yards from the opposition goal line, and then you blink and then she's down alongside Miyazawa winning the ball back or playing off a really quick pass so we can break quickly. I think she should be winning this every single week, and I know what it's going to take is her scoring a goal probably to win it, and I have no issues with tullis-joyce being in it. Brilliant save. Anna Sandberg, phenomenal player this season, scored a goal, was brilliant going forwards. Who's the other one? Miyazawa, again, should always be in it. But Zizotti, for me, and I know you mocked me last time, Barry, but it's getting ridiculous now, this cumulative effect of these outstanding performances that she had. At some point, it's got to result in her getting the All for United Women Player of the Match trophy.
Let's not forget a couple of very important points. Fallon Tullis-Joyce kept a ridiculous number of clean sheets, and I don't think she ever got the Player of the Match. Amazing. And as we very well know, Charlie, you love a cumulative effect player of the match, so I'm sure that we'll continue giving her player of the match until she gets one.
And do you know what I also love about her, because we've missed this historically as well, is that she's got a little bit of the dark arts about her. We saw it against Arsenal. She knows how to play a situation to her advantage, and also if all else fails, she'll boot somebody, and I also don't mind that either. I absolutely love her. She's like, I was not even joking. She is my favourite Manchester United player across all Manchester United teams at the moment. And you guys watching, because we're talking about Man United women, will have no idea how much I love Bruno Fernandes. No idea. Absolutely love the guy. Zizotti has surpassed him this season. Absolutely incredible. Love her.
In case you didn't get that, Charlie is a big fan of Giulia Zizotti.
Yes.
So there you go. But as Daniel says, she's no Jess Park, though, is she? And you're right. She's
I know. They're very different players. I love Jess as well. Oh, my gosh.
So, she's hard work. Jess, as we all know, is my favourite. And it just goes to show how down the middle I am, that I can ignore the fact that the BBC gave her player of the match and not even include her in the poll. Just goes to show, right? I'm always thinking, if I didn't put her there, Just saying. Andrew, who would you
I had no
pick?
part in this.
No, you didn't. Listen, I got a text. I was asked what it could be. You were in the middle of traffic, in the middle of Leicester. You know,
Yeah.
big problem. Andrew Wall didn't respond
just
until
didn't-
just before 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Somebody had to make a
Fine.
decision. I put my head above
I just didn't want the
parapet.
viewers.
Yeah.
I didn't want the viewers thinking that I hate Jess Park. I don't. I love Jess Park.
Okay,
Love
so
her.
you've heard it there. So she hates
Yeah.
Jess Park and she loves Julia Zagotti. Everybody gets it now. So I know that's not what you said, Charlie. Right, Andrew Wall.
Yeah.
Come on, who's your player of the match?
I'm going to echo Charlie. It was Julia for me. I just thought her and Hinny's partnership had just like been so good. I thought, I wonder how it's going to work, but literally they've just gelled together so quickly. I just thought, they've literally hit the ground running from the first game. I thought, it might take them a couple of games to work out each other, but no, they just. And what I like about Julia, she'll get stuck in. I'm like, and there's a bit of a, how would I say, nastiness. She'll go in and she'll be like, well, I'll go in for it. I'm not gonna back out of anything from going for a ball as well. So I think she was the one player that I saw like the most of her during the Chelsea game. She was literally trying to get us, on the front foot, but also defensively helping out too as well. So her and him have just seemed to have built a great partnership as well. So I agree with all four you put on the poll as well, and say I know Jess Park won player of the VC gave her player of the match, and she's been a revelation since signing for us. I wasn't sure what we were going to get from her, but I say we got the better end of the deal. Sorry, Grace went to City, but we got the better. I think we got the better player. Sorry, but we did. So.
Without question. Right, well, I can confirm that in fourth place was Fallon 5 saves. She got 13% of the vote. With 14% of the vote was Hinny. That's poor old Hinny there, missing out. 15% of the vote for you really, really, really want to zig Alma. Anna Sandberg wins it again with 58% of the votes. Again, yes, I mean, it was a good goal, to be fair. And she was, I think she stepped up. She'd hit a point where for the first 15 minutes, she was having a bit of a tussle, but she got to the level she needed to get to and worked herself through it. So fair play. Anna Sandberg is who the people have picked.
Love Anna Sandberg as well. I love a player, being a Man United fan, having a couple of players that can actually put a cross in that beats the first player is immense. And I'm fairly certain it's her and Julia that take the corners now that neither hit the side netting, nor go too long, nor hit the first player. And they've won this poll. They're both winners, is what I'll say. Joint winners.
Let's hope so.
Joint winners.
I would love to make them joint winners, but as a maths teacher, you will know there is no way for me to add 43% to Ziggy's number, especially when there's only 27% left to play with the other two. We can't even fiddle it that way.
There's no grey area. I get it.
It's a tricky one. But listen, keep going, keep banging your drum. Eventually, Ziggy's got to get one. So there we go. That's where we are. I've got two questions left to ask you both. My first question does relate to the game, and it's been mentioned a little bit in the chat, and I did bring it up earlier on about Ella Toon and how she was playing. There's been a little bit of chat, and it's only right that we enter these sorts of conversations. For what it's worth, I think Ella Toon has played incredibly well over the many years that she's been here, but there is, to me, no doubt that in this game against Chelsea, a lot of our attacks did end with Ella Toon possibly making the wrong decision. There was one where she came on the right-hand side and she just whipped the ball across. There was nobody there. She didn't even look. Didn't even see much. She just hit it and hoped that somebody was going to be there. It's often spoken about that Ella Toon might be a bit tired. I don't think she is tired at the moment. Do you think that... What do you think? What do you think? Is she doing okay? Has she done enough to maintain the position she's in?
Yeah. See, I have less of an issue with her making quick decisions. I know you talked about playing across and there was no one there, but she was she was clearly anticipating that someone would have made a run or been there. What I've sometimes found difficult watching this game was how she slowed down the attack. So we'd release the ball really quickly to her, and then she would stop with it, almost do like a 360 turn with the ball. I don't know, Andrew, if I mentioned this to you, because we spoke about it after the game, potentially did, before then looking for the pass. And I don't know why she was doing that. I don't know why she was feeling the need to get the ball, stop the ball, do a little shimmy around, not Anthony levels, before looking for the pass. It just seemed to slow things down a little bit. And there was one or two times when Sandberg was out on the left calling for the ball, and you actually saw a physical response from Sandberg in frustration in wanting the ball. And I think it's noticeable because Miyazawa and Julia release the ball so quickly, don't they, from midfield. And it's noticeable because Jess Park, when she gets the ball, her first thought is to drive forwards. So when Toons seems to slow play down, and I'm happy to be told I'm wrong here, this was based on what I've seen live, it looks a bit out of place. There's a time for it sometimes, isn't there, where you slow things down if people aren't keeping up with play or there's no options. But there was times against Chelsea where there were options and she was slowing play down and sort of going backwards when she maybe didn't need to, in my opinion, as not a professional footballer. But I absolutely think she should be starting midweek in the Champions League. I'd start the same 11 if I'm being honest.
Which leads me, Andrew, to my next question, which isn't the second question of them all. This is still the first question. But how would you feel if the starting lineup, Andrew, was Jess Park in that central point in the 10 and Celine Bizet on the right?
Ooh. See, we just been
speechless, mate. That's
be honest. Just say what you think. No one knows where you live.
True. It's just, I just think with Celine at the moment, she hasn't hit the ground running yet for her season. She's just been a bit off, and that's why I just think, would I put Celine instead of?
Do you not think that's because she's been in and out of the side? Oh.
I just think if you're coming in and out, but you should be ready to, be at it. But some players, start to see it just takes them a while to find their groove. I get that. I just think with like Jess being through the centre, but like Jess throughout the game, she'll go from left to right to the centre. She's got a free role, whereas Tooney, she'll be in the centre, but sometimes I've seen her drift to the wing, or she's been out there and the ball's been played into her. Or I say Tooney, she's not blessed with lightning pace. That's the saying. Sometimes when she gets the ball, sometimes she does slow it down a little bit, and sometimes that's all right when you've got a good quick couple of seconds to think about things. Well, like I say, like to Julia, where she just releases the ball into the pass and move. There's Tooney. I don't know. It's a slight maybe I'm thinking, is she slightly hesitating for a second? I don't know. Do I pass it? Do I cross it? Or there's nothing wrong, as Charlie said, if she's crossing the ball in and expecting someone to be there, you'd probably see her frustrated. Well, I've put that ball in. Why isn't no one already there following it through? So it's just making the right decisions in the games. We say we can all go, oh, maybe I should have passed it, maybe I should have shot or crossed. It's just you do what you think is right at the time. So necessarily would you change it? No, you thought that was the best move at the time. So, but sometimes you can slow it down a little bit, but sometimes you just need that control as well, just to progress the play. So, but yeah,
indeed, you're quite right. Charlie has returned with her words. Was the phone is not happy. It's red hot.
My phone is red hot. I was just trying to say to Andrew, you were talking about Bizet not being on top form. I was wondering if that was to do with her being in and out of the side and played out of position when she comes in through no fault of her own, so we've got no right backs.
It could be. I just think I'd find it really interesting seeing Jess Park down the middle, because like you said, she would just pick a place to go to. She'd just run around like a street footballer, playing football the way it should be played. My biggest worry would be if she did that, there's nobody in that pocket, so that if the ball does come out, it would need people to push up as one when they do that. But I don't know. I just think it would be a different proposition to what we've had in the 10 for the last few years. We've never really had that sort of player whose first thought really is, I'm just going to take people on and try and set stuff up. So I don't know. Could be interesting. Last question, and it's a great question. The Vålerenga bus is coming. Are you jumping?
Yeah. With excitement.
Yeah. Yes.
With excitement.
The Champions League is starting.
Oh.
It's beginning.
I can't wait to hear the Champions League theme tune come through those tinny little speakers at LSV.
Oh. Sure, when we played PSG, we couldn't hear it when they played the Champions League. The other side, I think, could hear it all, but I think because we were in the East Stand, I don't think we could. If I remember rightly, we couldn't hear much of it. So it was like, hopefully they got all the speakers working around the stadium, because I think we are in the East Stand again. So hopefully we get to hear it in full voice.
I think it's a great point. Can't wait to watch Man United in the Champions League. Charlie's got stuck again because the phone is probably still red hot unless you chuck it in the freezer for a minute. But there we go. What's success for you in the Champions League, Andrew?
Looking at the fixtures that we got, and was like, and just because now we're in the league phase, I just saw, because it's top 4 go straight through, and it's 5 to 12 that get to the knockout round. I just thought, looking at this, the teams was like that, where we could pick up points, and I thought we could at least pick up 10 points out of those games we got. And I thought, we probably should make it out of the league phase, but it just depends how we start the Champions League. So hopefully, come Wednesday night, we've got those first 3 points on the board. So as I say, looking at who other teams got in the Champions League draw, I thought we came out of it all right. There could have been a lot of bigger team, we could be facing like the Barcelonas, and I was just like, I think slightly a bit confident. Well, we should be able to get out of the league phase, but until we start the games, we'll soon find out how capable we are of progressing.
Absolutely. I'm going to just tell you what Charlie has managed to text us. It says, phone's done for. Tell the viewers I love them. So there we go. That's for you. Does make you if the phone's done for. I'd love to know how she texts. Like the phone.
Yeah, I was thinking if the phone, the phone should be out.
Done for. It's just a bit on the hot side. So there we go. So she loves you all, as do we. And it's perfect timing, really, because we are incredibly close to the end. Congratulations to Anna Sandberg. Congratulations to Manchester United, because even though we're 4th and we've let Spurs and City jump above us, Arsenal are a whole 3 points behind us. And it's wonderful to see that United have done, I think, incredibly well for a start of this season. I'll throw you one final question, as we don't have Charlie. I was speaking to Big Johnny K the other day, when we were talking about what we'd want and accept. If we drew all 6 games against Arsenal, Chelsea and City, and then won all the rest of them, would you be happy with that?
Oh, depends where we finish in the league as well. So, because
I'll tell you that I would argue that we may not win the league with that, because invariably the others would probably do better. But I think we'd definitely get top 3.
If it's the case, we drew everyone and we won all the other games and got top 3 in Champions League qualification again.
54 points.
Yes, I would take that, because it's, let's say, I would like to take more points off them, but let's say it'd be a sign of, especially if we took, let's say, another point out of Chelsea, we're like, well, there's more progress. We're not like Friday. We were like, as I said, it was like the best all-round performance I've seen from United against Chelsea. So, I would take that, but. I say, as Skinner said after the game, we want more and we want more success. So,
but the reason why I would take that as well is because I think that what that does for United is it puts us in a place where, number one, we've not lost any games to the big teams, but more importantly, we haven't lost any games to the teams that we should be expecting to beat and the other teams would be expected to beat. So by doing that, we put ourselves in a great position, I think, personally. And I'll tell you what, I weren't that impressed with you. Like, genuinely, if that's how Chelsea are going to play this season, you will get beaten this season.
I think
Somebody will beat you. Because if you play like that, somebody is going to take absolutely the chances that they have. So
I think
say that, and it could be us at Kings Meadow. Genuinely, it could.
I was going to say, and Sonia Bompastor said after the game, she said, I was finding it difficult to get my instructions out to my players because the crowd were just so loud. She said, I was struggling to pass out instructions. So I thought, well, made them work hard for the, for that point. So, but like I say, it's progress. So hopefully we can go to Kingsmen and make a lot of noise and then, grab a point or even 3. So.
Well, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that that's what we'll do. I'm hoping that we win a cup, either FA or Sandwich. And I'm also hoping that we make it out of the group stages of the Champions League. And I think if we do that, that would be wonderful. And we perhaps give Mark Skinner a lifetime contract. That's what a few people. I'm going to leave them to just tailspin with that as an ending to a show. Again, it's been a bit weird. Connor, it's been a bit weird hosting the show, but it's been lovely. If for some reason you've not had enough of this, do feel free to jump on to All for Women's Football in about 20 minutes' time when we will be looking back at the rest of the WSL. So Chelsea fans, come and join us and see what you're thinking there. And also, we'll be talking a lot about some of the leagues around Europe. So do feel free to come and join us over there, should you wish to. If not, then don't worry too much. Just have yourself a very pleasant evening. Look after yourselves. And on Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen, it happens. It's no longer qualifying. They can't take the mickey out of us anymore. Manchester United are in the Champions League. Man, don't it feel good? See you then.